Hello, friends, and welcome to 10 Points Under, where this game is just getting started. This is Big Bullfrog coming at you today, and joining me again is another awesome YouTube creator. I say another. He is a YouTube awesome creator. Another insinuates that I'm an awesome YouTube creator. I won't
Yeah,
insinuate that about
yeah,
myself.
yes, you are. Yes,
Okay,
you are.
thank you. I'll let others insinuate that about me, but it sounds a little pretentious coming from myself. But yeah, awesome YouTube creator joining me today. It's Tales of Valhalla. Welcome.
Thank you, and I appreciate because we are heavy into animating season 3, so it's good to take a step away from the animating table and just joining in for a game, just to remember exactly how to play this darn game.
Right.
Because I was telling Mr. Bigga Bullfrog just a minute ago that I think I'm the only Heroscape player that has literally used figures and terrain for the past several years, and I've barely played a game. It comes with the territory, you know.
Right. It's true. Really quick, just to introduce Tales of Valhalla. I'd imagine that everybody listening knows who you are, but just in case anybody doesn't know who, or you haven't checked out Tales of Valhalla's channel, it's a really cool channel. He does stop motion videos with Heroscape figures and terrain, like you mentioned. They're really, really cool. They're really, really creative. Just some of the coolest effects that I've seen. Just really, I just love the creativity. If I had to put it simply, I love the creativity of just how he gets figures to do certain things. He adds in special effects, but a lot of it comes from the stop motion of like when figures jump into water. There's a splash of water tiles. It's really cool, and I'm like, man, that's not something I would have thought of if I were doing a stop motion thing, and that's probably why I'm not doing a stop motion thing. But it's really cool stuff. Definitely check out the channel if you haven't. You've just finished season 2, right?
That's correct, and it's great to complete that, but we're only halfway done. Season 2 proceeding is season 3, and we're right in the middle of animating that. About halfway done with the animating of 10 episodes, and yeah, I can't wait to bring to a conclusion of just this entire story arc when it comes to the elementals and how the other characters are going to handle what happens at the very end of season 3. So yeah, I'm looking forward to bring that out to you. And yeah, I just wanted to ask real quick before we got started, what did you think of the end of season 2? Maintain or specifically just how it ends, where everybody's at, as well as what the airborne elite revealed about themselves.
Oh, I thought that was a pretty cool reveal. I don't want to spoil too much. I'm trying to
Right.
think of how to. I mean,
Let's just say it's a way that makes them more human, you
hmm
know, more like, we really shouldn't be here, but we there's a reason why we're here, and even if we don't have powers, we don't have magic, and we're just common soldiers, we're going to do something about it to the best of our ability.
yeah, I really, really liked that note. I mean, that kind of gave me. It's such a cool vibe to pick up on. It kind of gave me an easy reference as like Hawkeye in the Avengers, right? Where you've got
Right.
like all these superhumans, and then you've got this normal guy with a bow and arrow. These guys, luckily enough, have guns, but
And grenades.
right, guns and grenades. But they're still like normal people when they're surrounded by. I mean, like especially at the end of season 2. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but like you mentioned, Kurok is a prominent figure in the season, as well as the elementals. So you've got all of this magic and all of this crazy stuff going on. Even their allies are, like Kiri and stuff. So
Hmm.
magical flying people can heal each other or do all these cool things. And so, yeah, I really like that angle. It's a cool angle that you don't really see in Heroscape a lot. I think is just like, what would it really be like if all of these characters were mishmashing together? I mean, you see a bunch of characters. This is a great game to illustrate that, actually. I think because you got like these Scotsmen and a Viking with these robots, and robots over here with vampires and a magical healing lady. It's this huge mishmash, and it's cool to think about and just like see that characterization come through.
Right, and that's one thing I always loved about Heroescape was the diversity of the characters,
hmm
coming from everywhere to where you could, I mean, And even when it came to the custom realm, it inspired you to like where you could play Star Wars against Star Trek and just have a lot of fun with it if you're
Right.
dealing with customs. But when it comes to the the common core of the normal figures of the game, the classic figures of the game, I mean, there's so much variety here, and it's just so fun to match up certain characters together, especially like we're doing now. Even if it's Omnicron against Omnicrons,
Hmm.
if you got like or is Zetakron really an Omnicron though? No, I don't
Um,
think so.
he's a part of the faction. He's a leader and thus named Zedekron. So yes, but also just like a special one, I guess.
I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, well, you got Borg against Borg basically. You got
Hmm.
Soulborgs against Soulborgs, and I'm interested to see what the vampires will do. You got half the Essenwine family here. You got Finn the Viking champion on the other side.
Right.
Uh, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this game, and like so we're discussing earlier about the point value, and if you want to mention that, you can. It just seems like tactics have to come like right at the start of this game. You gotta make the right move. I think for both sides actually,
Hmm.
because one side, like here on the right with the Veggie Dad, certain figures have to be in place within a few rounds in order to become effective against a potential onslaught.
Hmm.
And the terrain is so specific. You could take potential risks on either way to go here.
Right. Yeah. This is so. Yeah. I mean, like just like you said, this map army matchup combination really cool. Really quick to just introduce the players a little bit. We've got Veggie's dad versus Boromir96. These are actually two players who have not been featured on the channel before, so I'm really excited for this game as well.
Ooh.
Just to like feature them because honestly, they're a couple players who I've been trying to feature for a little bit. I think I got a video of one of them, and then my computer crashed and I lost the video. So
You know, I heard about that too because I mean, when I'm animating, I'm listening to your episodes, and I heard that there was some mix up, and I hate it when that happens. That's why
yeah.
it's always good to back up your backups and then back up those two.
Right, yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, I had fallen behind on that at the time, so lost a
E-
few good games at this that day. But hey, I mean, it's a learning experience. I'm
For
making
sure.
sure I'm taking steps to make sure that doesn't happen. But so over here on the left, we've got Veggie's dad. This is Vegetarian 18's dad. He is an awesome player. I love playing against him. I've played against him a few times in tournaments, and he's really solid. One of those just like dark horses who will totally take you out if you're unprepared. I don't think like both of these players. I don't think they get talked about as much as players like Doc or Kevindola or Matthias or
Mhm.
the list goes on. But they're definitely in that group of players who, if you're new to Online Heroscape, they'll totally take you out because these are really strong players. So Veggie's dad over here on the left, his army consists of Major Q10, Zedekron, Cyprian Essenwine, and Sonia Essenwine, along with Kelda the Kiri Warrior. Over on the right, we've got Boromir. He's got an army of 3 squads of Mekdirk warriors, 2 squads of Omnicron repulsors, 2 squads of Omnicron snipers, and Finn the Viking champion. Or maybe worth noting that he did have to drop one Mekdirk warrior because his army was too big for the figure limit, so he had to drop a figure. Just to kind of like mention, Tales of Valhalla, you mentioned a little bit ago the point difference and the army size difference that's going on here. So this is a pod draft event. This is from the Online Con series of events, basically the online version of Gen Con, more or less series of tournaments that we're doing because Gen Con can't happen this year, unfortunately. So what happens is each player brings basically 2 half armies. So you've got like a total of 4 armies going on here. I'm just kind of making circles. Maybe I'll draw a quick illustration. You've got Army 1 and 2 that Veggie's dad brings. You've got Army 1 and 2 that Boromir brings. For the game, there's a die roll to see who gets to pick first. Whoever picks first can pick any one of the 4 half armies to basically draft into their army. And so Boromir picks, Army 1 or whatever. The next player gets to pick 2. They can pick, and it can be their own, it can be their opponent's. So they pick 2 armies, and then the first player gets the last army on their side. That's just kind of like a quick doodle. Hopefully that helps a little bit. But I say that just to kind of explain that what happened here is actually both players are playing their opponent's 2 pods. So Veggie's dad brought these 2 pods. One pod was the snipers and
Ah,
repulsors. The other pod was the Mekdirk warriors with Finn. Boromir brought Q10 and Kelda as one pod, and then Cyprian, Sonia, Zedekron as the other pod. What happened, I didn't get to see the draft happen live, unfortunately. So, but what I'm guessing and what I can kind of assume happened is Veggie's dad picked first. And he probably picked, I don't know which one he picked first. I'm guessing Q10 because Q10 has a really good matchup against, like, if Boromir picked the vampires, Q10's got a good matchup against the vampires. Also has a good matchup against the mech dirks and an okay matchup against the snipers and repulsors. So he probably picked these guys first. Boromir proceeded to pick these two really big pods and limit Veggie's dad's last choice to this small one. So that's why you see like this figure discrepancy. Points are also a little bit lower over here because you did not have to max out your points in this pod draft. So that's what happened. That's why it's a little lopsided. Just as far as like figures go, does mean that we'll be able to see some awesome like Lone Star hero action going on in the early game though. So I'm excited for
Yeah,
this.
yeah, and I mean, and I said at the beginning too that in something like this, it's going to take like these first, especially like the first round or first round and a half, really, of placing your characters where they need to be, and then making sure those dice rolls hit their marks, especially for Veggie Dad's side to start firing and start eliminating these numerous soldiers as much as possible until they get into some type of position to do damage to your guys. This is just interesting.
Yeah, it'll be really cool to see it play out. Definitely like needs to be Veggie's dad needs to be careful with like target selection, all that stuff. It's honestly I love playing hero armies versus squad armies because I feel like that
Mm-hmm.
pushes me. And you see the
Sure.
firepower here to be able to do it, but it's going to
Right.
take a lot of careful.
There's going to be a lot of ranged combat.
Oh yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
certain.
yeah. He's going to want to limit them as quickly as possible.
And but with the ranged combat as well, I mean, you're going to have some, because one thing I think would the strategy might be actually for both sides is set up your ranged figures in good positions, start firing on the other side, and then have your figures who aren't ranged head towards figures who can possibly get those ranged figures and start basically getting in their way and taking them out. So two sides of that coin. And that strategy really can work with both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just interested to see what these guys are going to do.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited to see how this plays out. So on that note, I'll go ahead and start it.
Okay, rolled 20 initiative. Rolled 1 initiative. Oh, don't you love it when you get that one?
That's a way to start a game.
It's like, don't you love it when you get that 20, and don't you love it when you get that one? Oh,
yeah.
my god. It's like one's like, yeah, one's like, but I mean, as you said last time we were together, that sometimes it's good to go second. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. So
Yeah, this
marker
one
one.
goes, I think.
Okay, so we got Q10 moving. It looks like he's just moving up.
And yeah, with 8 range, you can hit either of those two.
Yeah, he's got the range. So and right now he's got the height advantage too. So that's important.
Mm-hmm. And that's really nice against repulsors. That helps a lot with their
Oh yeah, you got to
EMP
take him out early.
Yeah. So that's actually, I mean, like again, we I think we focused a good amount on this like army matchup, but this map, with how condensed it is and how
Mm-hmm.
easily Q10 and Zetacron as well, these 8 ranged figures can kind of abuse a big gap in the middle and kind of
That's true.
just force this army to be awkward. I think will be really important.
It's the beginning of a good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Just to start hitting right away. The range helps, and you're right. There's that huge lava gap to where if the range figures can't get Q10, it's going to take a while for the non-range figures to head out. The Mechdirk Warriors and Finn to head on over. They'll have to go around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got some repulsors moving.
One thing that's important to note, I think, and you see it pretty well done with Boromir's placement, is so the repulsors are pretty anti-Solborg in nature. If you read the card, link in the description below. you'll see. So they've got like an EMP response, which is if they're attacked and they're not killed, they have a chance to take order markers off of the attacker if the attacker's a cyborg. Also, after they move, they have a chance to do automatic wounds to soulborgs that are next to them. That does not include repulsors, but that does include snipers. So if you've got them both in the same army, your repulsors can overload your snipers if you're not careful. So it's
For sure.
good to get them
It's
out.
yeah, it's repulsors are kind of like a double-edged sword here.
Mm-hmm.
Comes to helping or hindering you. And so, yeah, I'm not. It just depends on if you want to like synergize them with having snipers right by them, or just use them up as quickly as possible. Now, I think okay, and you got Q10 moving again. Yeah, no, I was thinking like I think we were moving the repulsors out of the way to kind of get them out of the line of sight of Q10, but I don't think that's gonna work.
Right. Yeah, this is a pretty open map, so even like the
Mm,
repulsors are short, but these quite tall enough to that.
okay, I wasn't sure about that, but shields are good.
And yep, and that's a
Looks like the
17.
shields are blocking.
I gotta check the card really quick because there's so many rolls on this card. But yeah, so it didn't really happen here because that was the last order marker on Q10 right there. But so
Mhm.
this is an example of Q10 attacked, Boromir rolled, yeah, for the EMP response. This time he didn't. This first one he did not get. The second one he got a 17, and you have
Mm.
to roll a 14 or higher. And so basically, what that would have done is it would end Q10's turn. So like if that was his first attack, he can't attack a second time. And then also
It,
you have to remove all the order.
those order markers. I wonder if he had another order marker on him or not.
He did. That was the second one on him. So no, the other two are
Okay,
on Cyprian. Yeah, I'm like, ooh, I
gotcha.
wonder if that's gonna happen early.
The other two are on Cypern. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's see here. Now the S and wines I've never used, um, but I know they're really great figures to use.
Cyprian is
Especially,
crazy.
yeah.
I mean,
Let
okay,
me see,
so
God.
order marker on Cyprian. To give you an idea of how crazy it is, one thing that I like about this, and especially now that I can draw, with 8 moves, stealth flying, he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can go from
Right.
here, go from clear back into the start zone up onto the tight spot and attack down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got great movement.
That includes clear to here. That's just a huge part of
Now,
it.
will he? Well, is he? Is it possible he could take damage from the lava space?
Yeah, yeah, so that is
Okay.
possible. He's probably not as worried about it because he can heal his wounds. Although
Right. That's good.
there's okay, sorry. So there's like so much with this
I
matchup to
know
talk about.
there's a lot of information on these figures.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and I mean like so with Cyprian, crazy figure. He's got crazy mobility. He can be anywhere on the board. One of his weaknesses though is that he cannot use his chilling touch ability, which is an auto wound ability on soulborgs, and so these
Sure.
repulsors and snipers, usually he can have two chances to kill a figure. In this one, he can only like he just only had his normal attack. Now, granted, with stealth flying as well, he can still be on height a lot of the time, so he'll still be able to kill things, kill himself up because he's a vampire and that's what he does. So just so many factors in this game. This one's really cool.
Yeah, and there's advantage and disadvantage, but one advantage that he has is that he's got 6 life, so
Hmm.
he can hop up on those lava spaces and stay alive for a good number of turns. So chooses to.
Yeah, especially where these snipers are going to be attacking up, or it looks like they're actually just 10.
Uh huh.
Either way,
Take
that's
one
time
of
to
the big
finish.
guys out early. Yeah, like I said, a ranged battle
Hmm.
starting out, which is fine. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's a
fine.
feature, not a bug.
Yeah. Let's see here. Ooh, 0 skulls. Of course, it's only 1 skull to begin with too, and
Right.
and that's what's like some of these snipers. Height is so important. Height advantage is so important sometimes because that extra dice you get could mean a wound,
Hmm.
and and give that advantage. And that's one thing I love about this board. It's small, and you really got to think about, okay, what risk am I going to take when it comes to height advantage?
Right.
Um, and that can make a difference in a game. It most certainly can.
That's gonna force you into those decisions. Like really, yeah, same. I like how this board just kind of like tests the skill of a player and their
Oh yeah.
ability to like make decisions, how they develop throughout the board, how they adapt. Like if they try to go for a risk and if it doesn't quite pan out, I think adapting to those results is like half the game of Heroescape and being able to think like, okay, this did work, this didn't work. How do I go from here?
And I'm almost tempted just to go for the spaces like on the bottom and top that have the glyphs on them, just to be like, what's in those glyphs?
Well, we do know what's in the glyphs. You've got Loden on top, Dagmar on bottom. That's
Okay, that's what L and D stand for.
yeah. D20 plus one,
Uh-huh.
initiative plus eight.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So we're taking a little bit of risk here with the height,
Mm-hmm.
elevation.
He does have 3 order markers on the snipers, so that nice thing
Okay.
about that is he can go for the height at the beginning of the round and back off if he doesn't like it later and
Yeah.
base.
If they don't fry, if they don't burn up.
Right.
So you're two. Okay.
That's
So
a really nice hit there with their double skulls. That's 2 wounds on Q.
it's also a really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
2 shields. And I can almost see like these creatures firing because I've animated both these kinds of creatures and just having
That's
all
true.
kind of wicked laser effects on these guys.
It's one of my favorite scenes of yours that you've done is like a huge battle with um
Those 2 initial battle scenes in season
yeah,
2. Yeah,
they're cool.
yeah, that was basically a like a 6-month project just to animate them.
Yeah,
But
that does not surprise me.
it just the results are just so fun. And like one thing, like as an animator and an editor, um, you want to cut as much as possible and make everything as short as possible, because if you lag out things too much, then you start losing your audience. But I felt for those fight scenes, almost everything I animated, it's in there. It's like sometimes I felt like cutting, but I'm just like, you know what? I put so much effort into it. This is just candy to to the regular Heroscape player, just to see all these things happening. I'm just like,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just leaving it all in.
Yeah, I definitely think that's worth it. It's like you said, it's a bunch of candy for a Heroescape fan to watch.
Okay, so let's see here. We got a sniper out. Ooh, we got and we got ice and wine here.
Like Boromir's opting to attack Q10 still, which I think is probably the right choice.
I
Even
think
if he
so.
can only get the one attack since this guy's engaged, basically since Q10 doesn't heal hit points, it's a lot
Yeah,
easier to take him out.
take him out, and he's already got 2 hits on him. Correct?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So fair trade. He like took out some repulsors and a sniper. He needs to be taken out
Yeah.
if possible. That's the plan. I mean, so far, I mean, when it comes to strategy from both these players, there's not really anything much negative I can really say. I just overall, I'm happy with what I'm watching, with what I'm seeing. It's like seeing like 2 teams and 2 minds that are evenly matched, that are just uh, relaying or uh, yeah, relaying and replying just really well when it comes to their figures and what are you going to do next? Okay, what are you going to
Hmm.
do next? Um, yeah, I'm very happy with what both sides are doing. So uh, it's literally either one's game right at this point, at least as far as I can see.
Yeah. It's yeah, definitely just like I feel like a lot of poking going on, just trying to see where things will go through. Um, like trying to finish off Q10. Um, Boromir doesn't have great attacks against Cyprian, so he's kind of letting Cyprian do his thing right now, which hopefully, that's always nervous when you're letting Cyprian do as he wants because he can do a lot. But I
Yeah,
mean, Boromir, he's just got to wait for that moment to really
right.
focus on him.
And it's a risk you got to take. I mean,
Hmm.
once you start focusing on who your target is and who you want to get after, then just do it until you take them out and just hope for the best dice rolls.
Right. It looks like, oh, he's going pretty risky actually, taking a disengagement and losing a sniper to that,
Oh, there you go.
keeping this sniper on lava even though it's the end of the round. Interesting, but he gets the Q10 kill. So
There you go.
I think, honestly,
I, fair trade.
yeah, I think that's worth it.
Hmm. Now, now the thing is, okay, what happens next? Q10 drew some blood, and I think actually, overall, I think um, from that exchange, yeah, I think Boromir got the just an edge, got the worst of it. I think when it comes to Vegie, he used Q10 in the best way possible. Um, introduced Cyprian on this side, who's still
Hmm.
very strong. Even with two wounds, he can easily make those back up. So far, yeah, I think Vegetad has a little bit of an edge now. To us now, it just depends on what he does with his other figures as well, because I don't think Cyprian can take care of all these guys.
Right. I mean, yeah, exactly. Especially with like so many Soulborgs in the mix. If these were
Mm,
all figures that he could also chilling touch, then maybe it gets a little bit close. I mean, snipers are still good at killing heroes, so
right
probably not quite. But yeah, it does come down a lot to what Cyprian can do at this point.
now, if I was thinking if Boromir had like someone like Sylvaris on that side, to where he could just like go up to like a number three surrounded by a water space,
Hmm.
um, that would be a much better advantage, you know? Um,
Yeah, that'd be really, really nice.
yes. Um, but even so, uh, there's still some strategy that needs to be worked out on both ends. So I think this is really anybody's game at this moment. It's really tough to tell what's going to happen.
Got the end of the round right here, so they're deciding what order markers
Right.
will be. I think, guessing Veggie's dad probably goes all in on Cyprian right now.
Okay.
Just because I don't think it's quite worth it to bring up Zedekron when like you need to keep Cyprian.
That's very true.
It'll be interesting to see. Oh, looks like Boromir's going in on the McDurks.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we got one order marker in Zedekron. Would be surprised if Zedekron actually had a move.
Hmm.
Um, and then okay, it looks like we're gonna see some of the McDurks coming out, which kind of needs to happen now. Now some close range stuff needs to happen.
Right. And these snipers, since they're not able to consistently get height on Cyprian, attacking up with
Right.
one attack it's just not going to be fast enough. Cyprian's going to be able to heal at about the same rate that you can put wounds.
Yeah, and it looks like again two very good strategic moves when it comes to placing the order markers on both sides.
Hmm.
Um, so we'll just see who gets the best out of this exchange, really.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so here's a nitpick. Here's maybe one of the first nitpicks of the game.
Mhm.
Keeping Cyprian here, I think if you could go up to this space and get that attack down on that MacDurk, um, seeing that all of these order markers are on MacDurks, I'd rather do that just because then this MacDurk can't get. So it's a nitpick because I mean, like the MacDurks are that's only going to have two attack coming against him. And maybe he
Mm.
wants that McDirk to go there so that then he can go on to level 4, right?
I see what you mean.
But just a nitpick, just a nitpick.
Yeah, it's a different way of like, should I stay put or
Right.
should I go a different spot?
And a lot of
It-
that comes down to personal taste and just like how different people
yeah,
play out the game, which
for
is
sure.
half the fun of it, really.
Now the question is, okay, so we're moving McDirks, but are they just moving to one side here now? Are they not going to be taking on Cyprin?
Could be. Um, looks like he's grouping them up, which
Yeah, a little bit.
so yeah, like now as I think that through, I think that makes a lot of sense because then sure Cyprin can come in. Maybe he comes and kills two McDirks at once and kills actually only maybe he does that, but then you've got so many McDirks along with Finn in the same spot that a counterattack becomes straightforward at that point, and you're not chasing him.
That's very true. I mean, it's a time when a defensive strategy um, is kind of necessary, and that's actually a very good defensive type strategy. I mean, normally I wouldn't be in favor of hanging back and just allowing someone to attack you, but when you explain it that way, that really does give a good defensive strategy. Now it's going to make Veggie Dad think a second
Mm-hmm.
about, okay, how do I approach this?
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I might. I don't know. I mean, I maybe try to take out another sniper and just go right next to like on even ground next to the sniper. But then you're kind of betraying a little bit of height advantage against one McDirk a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and being almost right close to Finn, the Viking champion as well. I don't know. Okay, but there you go. He moves. Okay, so he is
Hard to
taking
know.
even ground, but against three McDirk warriors. Interesting.
He'll only be able to kill two if he rolls well. Good roll for the chilling touch. Got one. I mean, like a 3 attack, 2 defense. Pretty optimistic that will go through. But then you've got 1, 4, 5, 6, 8 McDirks within striking range with Finn. Well, but
But one good thing, he got all his wound tokens taken off,
it's
so now
true.
he's at full health strength. So, this will be interesting. So I took out one McDirk, and Boromir defended with another one. So now let's see. Now the next move is on. Yeah, is on Boromir.
Hmm.
Now, and we can. Is that Finn the Viking champion, or is that someone different?
That is Finn, yeah.
Okay. Is there like some type of bonding with Finn and the McDirks?
Yeah, so the McDirks do bond with Finn, and then
Okay.
they also have a um forget the name of it. Highland Fury is the name of the power. Basically they get to choose like a Highland King of sorts. I guess is how you put it. Basically they choose one champion at the beginning of the game, which in this
Gotcha.
case is Finn because he's the only one. And for
Right.
each wound Finn takes, the McDirks are going to get +1 attack. So if
Oh, that's nice.
Finn takes 2 wounds, the McDirks suddenly have 4 attack.
And there's also a human championing bonding with the McDirk warriors. So, and they can
Mm-hmm.
first take a turn with any human champion. Okay, that's a good advantage then. All right. So yeah, good strategy on Boromir's side then when it comes to matching those guys up. I have to remember that matchup in the future.
It's a good
Um,
one.
yeah,
It's fun. You don't see it a ton because only having 2 defense kind of hurts when it comes to a lot of competitive scape. But when it's like an event like this, where it's like a pod draft and you play those strengths and
very
it's
true.
really really cool to see them in
All right, I'll just see how the dice rolls go.
all blocked. So
Yikes.
yeah, no wounds for Cyprian that round or that.
Wow. And see, and this is where when strategy comes into play, but also the luck of the dice rolls. And when the dice aren't with you, the dice aren't with you. Oh,
True.
it makes me cry.
I have seen it.
So Yeah, so
Nice.
I would say that Cyprian gets the advantage of this so far in this round because he swooped in, went out. My goodness, what a figure!
I know. It's 8 move stealth flying. He's like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be
Exactly.
over here. I just want to kill this one figure.
You know, potentially. I mean, yeah. I know I said before that Cyprian probably couldn't handle the rest of these guys, but um, he could potentially make a strong dent
Mm-hmm.
if not getting taken care of quickly.
Yeah, and that's part of the just strength that you see with Veggie's dad using here is just being able to say, okay, like he baited basically all of those figures to come over to this direction, totally changed tactics, and now he's over here. Um, and then again, strong play for Boromir. He still had enough mech Dirks all over the place that he is still going to be able to get a couple of attacks
Right.
right here. But it's not the ideal situation that Boromir would
No,
want.
right. It's a little bit of a height disadvantage now.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows us here in that roll, yep. And you're
Oh,
hoping for a
big
lot of
roll.
skulls. Yeah, you're hoping for a lot of skulls and you don't get them and then you got shields on top of that.
Right, yeah. Um, the Cyprian will take a lava wound, but I mean that's not a
That
huge deal.
it's just a flesh wound, you know. Oy, yeah, I can hear the Black Knight saying that right now. It's just a flesh wound.
He's had sunburns worse than this.
Yeah, this now and this kind of shows okay. I mean both players are really thinking very strategy minded, but now you can see who has a little bit more of the advantage now going into this game. When it comes to Veggie Dad, I mean, just one miniature is gumming up the works for all the rest of Boromir's side, and you still have um, Kelda, and you got Sonya, and you got Zedekron just waiting in back, just ready to mop up what Cypern doesn't take care of. So I'd say right now, who has the advantage is Veggie's Dad for sure.
Yeah.
Now that can
Boromir did
change on a
just win.
dime,
I
but
know. So I was looking for ways for Boromir to make it turn on a dime, and he just won initiative. And I think this could be a really big initiative to win because now he can
yep,
surround Cyprian,
height advantage.
get height, get even ground. Um, we'll
Yeah,
see if it
yeah.
happens. That first attack was tough, but
And at this point, I mean, you don't really care about the risk of the lava pieces. Yeah, you just want to surround him
mm-hmm.
and take him out as quickly as possible. So let's see how this goes. 3 skulls. Okay,
Yeah, that's
got
a
some
hit.
good hits there. Got some really good hits there. See if more can come.
Okay, nice block. And next two attacks are gonna be up.
There's another hit.
And
See here, can he be taken out? Can this undead guy be taken out?
oof, three out of
What's the
three.
defense? What's a defense?
Oh,
There you go. That's how you do it.
holy
Wow.
cow! Yeah.
Okay, like I said, turn on a dime.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
So again, now we're back to evenly matched as far as strategy goes. My gosh,
Oh,
what
I
an
don't know if
exciting
that's.
game!
I mean, I don't think that's even evenly matched at this point because I'm pretty sure all of those order markers were on Cyprian, so that's a full round that Boromir gets to take.
There you go. I mean, it's true, but when I say evenly matched, I'm talking about evenly matched in strategy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I mean, this can be turned around, but yeah, you're right. When it comes now to like the army side, Boromir definitely got everything returned back in his favor. Just when it came to get if you can't make luck or you don't have the luck on your side, you make it, and he did it with those height advantages for
Yeah.
certain.
Yeah. He definitely played to his advantage right there.
This is fun. I'm enjoying this a lot.
This is a cool game. So I will say this is the end of the game. So, which
Okay.
might sound a little bit surprising. It was surprising to me when I came in and I saw that, especially because the players are doing a voice chat, so we don't see what they're saying over here. But Veggie's dad did concede the game at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically, I'm guessing again because I can't see their discussion, but so at this point, Sonia is down to 1 life because when Cyprian dies, she takes 2 wounds. Um,
Oh,
and then you've got Kelda, who can kind of heal, but she's only got 2 attack and doesn't really do much. Her main thing was like maybe she could heal Q10 and do something because Zedekron, the probably the most powerful figure for Veggie's dad at this point, only
right.
has 2 life, and so Kelda's not really super useful to him because he's very likely to take those 2 attack or 2 hits at a time. And with only 1 attack per order marker, I'm guessing Veggie's dad just didn't feel like he could pull off the win at this point.
I can see why that would be the case. I mean, if Kelda was Raylan, maybe it would be a little bit different.
Oh yeah. That'd be great for him, really. But
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I was kind of surprised, honestly. Also, though, I was kind of surprised to see Cyprian take 5 wounds at a time just now. So
That was quite a moment.
yeah, and I mean, that's so game changing, especially like losing a round on top of that, where Boromir can just come in as he pleases, just get in position. I don't know if he like starts making attacks this round, but if he doesn't, he's got McDurk's like up to here on this side, up to maybe here on this side, and I mean, you can kind of see why Veggie's dad just didn't want to play that end game out.
He could see what was coming, and that it would again, like I said, I'm really impressed, and I would love to see these guys play again because
Mm-hmm.
you just have two minds that think about tactics and strategy. Especially like with a lot of these figures that have so many special abilities and how to play them to their advantage.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think just two brilliant minds really playing this. I mean, I honestly, I mean, even now that we have a winner, because we had a player concede, I'm impressed with both. I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
just like applauding both right now. Uh, just over the fact that both could think their way through, and both and one knows when it's just like, okay, I can see the writing on the wall here. Personally, me, I probably have been like, okay, I can see the writings on the wall, but I still want to see what happens.
Right.
um, but still, overall, great decisions by both, and
Mm-hmm.
we just see how one strategy overcame the other. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, it
and
was
like I said, on a turn of a dime too. Mm.
right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I just totally agree. I think like both of these players really strong, very closely matched. You saw a lot of good play from both of these. I'll be honest. Like I said, I came in at the end of the recording and that Veggie's dad had conceded at this point, and I'm like, oh man, maybe this is just a massacre. But it wasn't. It was not. It was really good play, and then just
Yes,
Boromir being able to slowly get Cyprian into a position, and then that initiative switch and 5 wounds just sealed the deal for him. So, but I mean, the Cyprian play before that was really strong.
it was.
The good stuff. Sides. So yeah, I mean, I think you can see why I wanted to get games from both of these players for a long time. So I'm glad I was able to get both of them
Yes.
at the same time.
I'm very impressed, and I mean, whenever I like get when I'm able to play virtual Heroscape again in the future, I mean, I'd be afraid to play these guys, but I'd really want to play these guys just because
Yeah.
I would learn so much from just their tactical minds, both of them. It's just, yeah, well done,
I
well
mean,
done.
yeah, I can vouch for that, honestly. Like, I haven't played Boromir actually, but I have played Veggie's dad a few times. And yeah, I feel like every game I play with him, stretch as a player in order to match him. And it's a feeling I really enjoy. Um, one of the joys of playing online against such a variety of different people.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But
Yes. I love it. Love it.
it's so good. But yeah, so that is our game. That's the end of the game. Thank you, viewers, for joining us, and big thanks to you, Tales of Valhalla, for joining for this one. This is a really good one to cast together. I really enjoyed this.
Yes, no, thank you so much for having me. And I mean, I'm glad to be back on another time on here, and
Hmm.
and I'd be happy in the future to pull myself away from the animating table and come back on and join you again for more games, because like I said, it always gives me perspective, and this one really gave me perspective.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, I'll be having. I keep wanting to plug the online con event that's going on right now. It's like as of recording, the event is basically live. It's like the week before the weekend, but there's still a nightly tournament that's happening. It's gonna be over by the time that this game comes out. But definitely, if you're viewing this and you want to learn more, there will be links in the description. You can check out. I'll have linked like the original tournament thread. You can see what happened. I'll have linked battle report threads where you can go in and read the battle reports from players, because I'm not gonna get the majority of the games that happen. I plan on getting a lot of games, and it'll be awesome. But I'm still gonna miss most of them just because I can only record one game at a time. And
For
so,
sure.
um, definitely lots of cool stuff to check out. I definitely recommend it. We're only a couple days into like a tournament that's only happening one round at a time at each night, and it's already had some games produced. So yeah, can't recommend it enough. Basically,
Check out those links.
yeah. Also, speaking of links, there will be links to Tales of Valhalla's channel, so make sure you check that out if you have not, because his videos are awesome. And speaking of, is there anything you'd like to share or plug it right now before we sign off? Or
Yes, yes, two things. I want to just mention that I know all you all are probably, I mean, some of you might be working, some of you might be still cooped up in the house. And I'm just saying, if you're binge watching like on Netflix or Amazon Prime, your favorite shows, and you want to watch something that involves your favorite war game on this planet, uh, go to our YouTube channel where you can binge watch season 1 and 2. Basically 20 episodes
Mhm.
of nothing but Heroscape fun and action, and just enjoy those things. And then second plugin is actually I want to plug High Ground Tiles, and I can send you a link for them if you're not familiar with these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but I've invested in a 3D printer, and I'm starting to integrate a lot of their 3D printed terrain into the Tales of Valhalla universe. And I've sent you a couple pictures. When it comes to animating season 3, especially in like there are scenes when we're in the middle of a desert, and there'll be scenes in the future we're going to be in the Thalake tundra with all the ice and snow, and a lot of high grounds terrains are going to be incorporated in with the Heroscape terrains, and they match so well. It just makes everything look visually so beautiful. And if any of you don't know who High Ground is, I would encourage you see the link in the description below. Find a way to 3D print these terrains, because they are just so visually wonderful. And every time I print, I'm so impressed. I'm currently printing their set with it's their mine set, to where you have like underground mine, and you got tracks and different train tracks for mine carts, and ways to like see like crystals and different aspects of just underground wargaming play. And it's quite an extensive set. But it's just so just visually beautiful as well. And they have so many others, and I really hope. I mean, it's been a few years since they released these sets that they have now on their website, and I certainly hope they expand in the future. But right now, what they have is just amazing. So I can't say enough about these guys. And then I put them now as a description in my own videos, um, links because links to them, because their terrain and their 3D prints help enhance visual storytelling of Tales of Valhalla. So just wanted to plug those guys because I love those guys so much.
Yeah, that's a great thing to plug. You sent me pictures earlier today of like those sets that you've got for season 3 that you were talking about. They're
Hmm.
beautiful. They are incredible. If you don't mind, do you mind if I put like those pictures in the description as well, just to
I
give people a peek?
I do not mind at all. There,
Awesome.
there's one shot that I gave you that's an actual, in a sense, it's an animation frame, and that's where you have Henderson, one of the airborne elite, who's kind of faded. It's kind of a depth of field shot. and then you got Estevara looking at him from the entrance of a mine shaft. And I think there's one shot that's kind of a wide shot, but the one a little bit closer to where you don't see anything outside of just the train and stuff. And that's a beautiful looking sand, where it looks like a mine shaft, like they're mining something within the sandstone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the pitiful pitiful. What's the word I was going to say? Now I lost it.
Pivotal.
Pivotal. Thank you. Oh my goodness, my brain goes blank at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. It's a pivotal scene. See, I can't. You just say it for me, please.
It's a pivotal scene.
Right, within this episode, to where Estevar does encounter one of our good guys, and what happens during that encounter kind of takes a new direction into season 3 up to that point. So it's an interesting encounter, and yeah, it's a nice little screenshot to have, and I have not shown that to anybody. That's a gift for you,
Awesome.
for your audience, just to see that little snapshot of what a little bit of what season 3 is going to be about.
That's awesome. I'm excited to be able to. But yeah, definitely check that out in the description. Those pictures are awesome. I'm really excited for what season 3 is going to bring because like the pictures, story how it's developed so far. I'm really excited to see where it goes. So definitely check those out. Again, everything's in the description. I put maybe too many links in the description, but check out the ones you're interested in for
Check
sure.
them all out.
Look at them.
Come on, we have nothing but time on our hands right now.
Right, yeah, right. But yeah, so thank you again so much for joining me for this game, and thank you viewers for also for joining us. Remember what it is, or what a glorious world it is that we live in with Heroscape and stop motion Heroscape abounding. Have yourself a great Heroscaping day, and this is 10 points under and out.